So, I mean, that was something, that was your very first
Yeah.
thing. Was that, and you created Hemlock. Did you create Hemlock Films to do that, or had it already existed before?
Hemlock, just a couple of years prior to that,
Okay.
Hemlock Films. And in the creating of a company, the creating of the company is to legally protect you. That's really it. Hemlock Films will never be bigger than Paramount. It's just not. That what we do and is promote the names of ourselves, that Kara and Adam are going to do a project, not really Hemlock Films is going to do a project. Hemlock Films exists, one, because then I have an LLC that's on file at the state of Ohio. So now I can have a business banking account, which then I can have production insurance. So now I can rent things. And then if a $500,000 camera truck burns to the ground on our production, we don't lose our house. Hemlock Films will have some financial straits, but it protects us in that regard. So,
Yeah.
And when you're investing, if you have a company that's involved, and for the restorers, I made a specific one, the Restorers LLC. And then you're asking people to write a check to a business, and seems like it's much more legit than Joe Schmo sitting in a house wanting your money LLC. So.
Yeah, and that's Adam mentioned at the beginning that we both freelance work on in television and commercials and all that stuff. But when we work on films, every film company starts an LLC for that particular film.
You'll see it at the end of the credits.
Yeah. So it's usually whatever fake movie name they come up for.
Or it could be a line from the film that they'll have something quirky and fun and think that they're really clever with it.
Yeah, but each film has its own company behind it, even though let's say like a Paramount ultimately is distributing the film, but the film is actually under its own LLC.
And that's ever since the studio system broke up in like the 40s, that it's been that way. There used to be a really, really small nothing company called Lucasfilm that was doing these small movies. 20th Century Fox released Star Wars, but they only released it. They did not shoot any of it. It was all within the confines of Lucasfilm.
Well, that was an independent film. So.
The biggest independent film in the world.
But yeah, and I know you guys are still in school and you're doing student projects, but this is good to know for when you're done, and if you want to do more of this, that definitely setting up an LLC, which really isn't that difficult.
And you don't have to do. We'll say, I read a book very early in my career that said, step 1, get a lawyer. And it sounds like real boring, expensive, super duper, way grown up type thing, but it protects you, and then you don't have to learn any of that stuff. You can say, hey, I'm starting a film, and there are people in Ohio who are entertainment lawyers who then can set these things up, and then you're off and running, and they'll help you. When you sit, you've written your script and actually you got a little bit of traction, and you go, boy, it'd be really awesome if I got like Liam Neeson do the voiceover to this thing. All possible. All those things are possible. We've had Sigourney Weaver do voiceover for us, that you just have to contact them, and now there's SAG, and if you don't want to fool around with that, then you have your entertainment lawyer fool around with the SAG contract
with all the paperwork, because